guys, it's Rachel, and today I am in San Francisco's Chinatown, as you can tell by all the lanterns and the festivities happening. It's right before the holidays, so it's super crowded, but we are going on an egg tart tour today, and we are going to be visiting several different bakeries in this area to figure out which one is the best egg tart in San Francisco. We are rating the egg tarts by two criteria: the crust and the custard. So for the crust, we're looking for something flaky, kind of buttery, just really nice to bite into. And then for the custard, we're looking for something eggy and soft and has a lot of flavor too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and visit our first location. It's not a Chinatown trip unless you see Shenyun signs everywhere and people trying to flyer you with Shenyun everything. So I am back from San Francisco Chinatown with a bunch of boxes. As you know, anytime you order something from one of these Chinese bakeries, they serve it up in these pink boxes with like a little bit of, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the string that like seals every box together. And it kind of just reminds me of my childhood because these pastel pink boxes always meant egg tarts, pineapple buns, pork floss buns. So many good things came in these boxes. It was like a really interesting experience because I feel like every time I go to an Asian bakery, it's like the most chaotic thing. You need cash on your hand. The ladies do not wait. They are like, come, order, go. And you have to know exactly what you want. And sometimes the things aren't even shown on the pastry case. It's like, you gotta ask for it. But I did try and get all that information from all of these bakeries here for you, and so we'll go ahead and rank them, and I'll also tell you the prices for each of the individual products. Anyway, now I'm super excited to be digging into these egg tarts and giving you a review of each one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with our first bakery, which is Napoleon Bakery right here. Let's see if I can open this string. I think it's always like my number one struggle. Like I never, oh my God, I did really good today. Because I feel like they tie it into a super tight knot. It can never come out, but I think we're good. So this is the box from Napoleon. Oh my God, that smells so good. Okay, so I think it's funny because you'll notice that all of these boxes have like a little bit of grease stain on it. It's just a necessary evil that comes with these buttery and really good pastries. So if you see some stains, don't be concerned, it's fine. My health is maybe something to be worried about, but it's okay. The boxes, it's fine. Let's go ahead and dig into this beautiful egg tart from Napoleon Bakery. It has got a really flaky crust, and the custard is shiny. It's kind of a pale yellow, so not the darkest one I've ever seen, but it looks super tasty, and the crust has so many layers, so I'm super stoked to dig in. Let's give it a try. Cheers. Initial thoughts, the crust is really buttery and flaky, just the perfect golden brown, and the custard is super tender. It's not overbaked. It's got a nice smooth texture and feel to it. I will say the filling just tastes like straight sugar. It doesn't really taste eggy to me, which I don't know if is a good thing or a bad thing. Like some of you guys may like a more eggy texture, but this one is a little bit more just like cream and sugar without any other flavors. So it doesn't have a whole lot going on. But this one is just, it's just very plain. So now let's talk ratings for Napoleon Bakery. I would say that the crust definitely gets a 9 out of 10 for me. And the custard is closer to maybe a 7 out of 10. The custard is good and it is well baked, but it just doesn't have a lot of flavor. So 7 out of 10 for the custard and then 9 out of 10 for the flaky crust. All right, so we're starting off strong with Napoleon Bakery, but let's move on to the next one. All right, let's do one in one of these little paper bags. This is from New Hollywood Bakery, but it was a better deal to buy 3 of them, I believe. And I'll list the price for a single egg tart here. But it was a better deal to buy 3, so we got 3. We got a lot. But let's take a look. Yeah. Oh my God, y'all, it's hard. Oh wow, it's so yellow. Okay, these are way more yellow than the one I just tried, but the crust is more of like a sugar crust. It doesn't look like a flaky pastry crust, if that makes sense. But that center, I feel like they used a lot of egg yolk or something, because it looks fantastic. Also, I forgot to preface this by saying I have a huge pimple here today. I don't know what's going on with my skin. It's been breaking out lately, but I am naming my pimple Eggy. So we're just gonna run with it. And if you see Eggy, just say hi, Eggy. We're just gonna roll with it. Oh God. This one's chaotic. This one has chaotic energy. It's really crumbly. I think the crust isn't my favorite because it's more of like a shortbread cookie crust. I personally prefer the flaky crust made out of like a puff pastry dough. The custard in the center here is definitely a little bit richer, definitely smooth, kind of glossy, and is really tender and not overbaked either. So I would say I like the custard, but I'm not a huge fan of the crust. So let's do my ratings. In terms of the crust, I would give this crust a 6 out of 10. It really just, it didn't do it for me. I was not a fan. And then I would give the custard I want to say this custard is a solid 9 out of 10. It is pretty tasty. It is a little bit of a chaotic egg tart because there are crumbs everywhere, like literally everywhere, but still worth the bite. Okay, my next egg tart may be the most beautiful egg tart out of all the egg tarts I've seen today, but look at this. It is like perfectly round and centered and has like a light pale yellow filling. Okay, the crust doesn't look that flaky, but it's just so well formed. Like, can we just give appreciation to like how perfect this looks? Like, I don't know if it's gonna taste good, but like appearance wise, it's so uniform. So Garden Bakery is the place that I went to that had all the locals kind of sitting about, sipping tea, getting pastries, and so you could see all the old Asian grandpa and grandmas chilling out, eating their pastries like I mentioned, and it was like the cutest thing to watch all of them. So I feel like you know a place is legit if all like the old aunties and uncles are there. They know where to go. So one of these egg tarts from Garden Bakery is about $1.70 per egg tart. Let's see if it's worth it. Oh, yeah, this one's so good. Oh my God. I guess what surprised me about this egg tart is that the crust didn't look super special. Honestly, it looked kind of dense and flat, nothing super exciting, but it actually has a lot of layers and the custard isn't overwhelmingly sweet. I think that's the thing I kind of picked up on the previous 2 egg tarts. They were really sweet. They had a lot of simple syrup inside of them, but these egg tarts are actually really milky and like creamy. And I love that. It's not as yellow in terms of like the color of the custard, but it's still really tasty. And I love how the crust unexpectedly surprised me with how flaky it was. I would give the custard a 9 out of 10, guys. It's really solid. And then I would give the crust a 9.5 out of 10. Super close to perfection. I just think on first glance, it doesn't look that good. Maybe there could be like slightly more layers, but that's if I'm being nitpicky. I think the flavor, the butteriness, and the texture is all there. So this one actually really surprised me. I think this is my front runner so far. Garden Bakery, y'all. The OG Asian folks know where it's at. All right, guys, we got 3 more egg tarts to go. The sun is not on my side. I am battling it out, but we're gonna push through. And we're gonna tackle the next box here. And for my last egg tart, I'm gonna bring in my sister to do a little taste test with me because we have a surprise egg tart towards the end. So stay tuned for that. But now we're gonna try Double A Bakery. And I think that's how you call it. I don't know, it's like 2 A's. So it's either Double A Bakery or Baker, I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's Double A. We're just gonna run with that. So we got a couple goodies in here. They're not all egg tarts, but I figured I'll show you everything we got anyway. Oh no, it's stuck. Oh, okay, here we go. Ooh boy. Oh, y'all can't see that, huh? Okay, here it is. Look at everything. So I thought Garden Bakery had the most perfect looking egg tart, but I might be wrong because this is also literal perfection. Like, it is literal perfection. The crust is like flaky, golden brown. The custard is so smooth. Like, I could literally see my face in the reflection of this custard. That's how shiny and glossy it is. I'm very impressed. This egg tart, appearance-wise, may take the cake for me. I just picked it up and like literal layers of crust just like flaked off. Oh. Oh my God. I have transcended to new levels of egg tart heaven, y'all. The crust is literal perfection. It's slightly browner than I would have liked, but The flaky layers are completely there, and each bite that kind of enters your mouth almost like disintegrates into your mouth because there's so many flaky layers in there, and it's so buttery. I will say that the custard for me is a little bit too runny. It's like, I know I mentioned that it was very shiny and I could like literally see my reflection in it, but like it's also kind of watery at the bottom. So I feel like maybe they didn't mix their custard in well enough, but like I don't want it to be this wet, if you know what I'm saying. Like it's like a little too wet and too moist in there. So the custard is not my favorite, but the crust was really good. So I would give the crust probably a 10 out of 10. I know it's a whopping 10 out of 10, my first 10 that I've delivered so far. And the custard itself, God, I gotta give this like a 6 out of 10. It is like watery, and that's like a little alarming to me. I don't know why it's watery, but I do not want a watery egg tart. I'm sorry, hard pass. Moving along, because we are running out of daylight. We've got, I've labeled all of them because I'm gonna forget. We've got New Wheatfield Bakery here. I think it's New Wheatfield, what is it? Wheatfield something bakery. It is a newer bakery in the Chinatown area. So if you walk in, it's got like glass panels and like a really nice interior compared to a lot of these other, maybe more mom and pop hole in the wall bakeries. So let's give their egg tart a try. These had a lot of steam and condensation on the bag. I guess they were coming out pretty hot. But look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my God. Y'all, you see how round that is? Perfection. Since this is a newer bakery, I'm kind of excited to see if their pastries are good, or at least their egg tart is good, because I feel like if a bakery has a good egg tart, that means like the rest of their pastry case is probably pretty decent. So let's give it a go. Oh, this crust, also kind of immaculate. The shape is like perfection. It's so smooth, guys. Oh, crumbly. It's losing me a little bit. Oh, tastes like a sugar cookie. I don't know. I don't think I'm a fan. Like it tastes like a sugar cookie. It's a little bland. The crust is like a little bit too thick for me. I don't like this type of crust because it's not flaky. And the custard is like straight sugar. I don't know why, but this tastes like a sugar cookie and I don't taste any egginess at all. I'm kind of disappointed. I don't really like this one. I would give the crust a 6 out of 10. So if I'm being generous, I would give the custard a maybe 7 out of 10. But overall, this is not my favorite egg tart. Let's throw it out of the race. So I'm here with my special guest, Jess. She's my sister. You may have seen her on the channel a couple times, but we are gonna do the last egg tart tasting together as like a little surprise. So we went to Yummy Bakery and Cafe to pick up these egg tarts. And yeah, there's an oil stain, just ignore it. Basically, they have two kinds of egg tarts. They have your classic egg tart, but they also have an egg white tart, which is our little surprise to try and see how the egg white tart compares to a typical custard tart. So let's open this up. Let's see. You want the egg white one first and then we'll trade? Okay, either way. This one's the egg white one. Look. And this one is the yellow regular egg custard tart.
So far they look really flaky and the inside looks really good too. The egg white one definitely is
Wrinklier.
Wrinkly. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot of wrinkles.
Maybe that's because like the custard is like a different texture or something like that. So
yeah.
like, because they're not using yolks. So maybe it produces a different result at the end. Shall we do an egg tart cheers?
Okay.
Ready?
Cheers.
Okay, let's taste it.
All right.
Yours is white. Oh my God. What's the inside?
I honestly can't tell that it's egg white. It just tastes like egg to me.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I've been like eating so many egg tarts that like all the custards just taste like sugar to me now. So I can't tell if there's like yolk or like vanilla or like anything in there. It just all tastes the same. I will say like mine is pretty similar. Like the custard is like very neutral, sugary, and then the crust is like, it's not as flaky. I think it's a little bit more dense than I would like. So, you know, if I were to give this a rating, I would say the crust for me gets maybe like a 7 out of 10. And then the custard, maybe like also a 7 out of 10. It's very average. What would you rate yours?
What would I rate mine? I'm thinking the crust is probably a 7 out of 10 as well. It is a little dense, but it does have the flakes, so that's sort of nice. And then the inside, really, I thought it was gonna be something special, but I'll be honest, it just tastes like a regular egg tart to me, even though it's egg white. I mean, maybe it's healthier in the sense that you don't have
True.
the cholesterol and stuff like that from the egg yolk. But I'd give the inside, it's like really smooth and silky, so I give it like a 7 too.
Okay, so 7s across the board.
Yeah.
Okay, we should trade. I want to try yours.
You're gonna try it. All right.
Other side. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Tastes like egg white to me.
Oh yeah, maybe I haven't had a lot of
egg tart. Yeah, you haven't been primed with like all these egg tarts.
Okay, now I can taste the difference.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's just like a little bit lighter, and I feel like it's less sweet. Yeah. I don't think it's like a huge game changer. Like you don't need to go out of your way to try an egg white tart.
I think like what's missing is that custard flavor that comes with the egg yolk and having the regular egg tart. So it's a little bit more richer, I guess, to have the regular egg tart versus that egg white.
This is like the light version, or if you're like Coke Zero of egg tarts, if you want to be a little bit healthier. Well, thanks, Jess, for joining me on this little egg tart tasting. I'm gonna wrap up here, but we can say goodbye. But thank you for doing the taste testing with us. Okay. So that is a wrap on the egg tart tour in San Francisco. We tried out 6 different spots all over the Chinatown area to figure out which one is the best egg tart. So without further ado, let me go ahead and announce the winner of this egg tart tour, and I'll give you all the rankings as well. It's on my phone, so one second. I'm gonna read them off because it's a little bit easier. But coming in first place, drum roll please. And drum roll, kind of hard to drum roll. But first place goes to Garden Bakery. Congratulations. They had an overall average score of 9.25. I think the flavor on this one really just took the cake for me. It was buttery and rich, filled with layers, and the custard was really delicious as well, very creamy and smooth. Number 2 is actually a tie between Napoleon Bakery as well as Double A Bakery. They were both solid egg tarts and got an average score of 8 out of 10. And this is followed up by New Hollywood Bakery in spot number 3, Yummy Bakery and Cafe in spot number 4, and New Wheatfield Bakery coming in last. But I hope you guys enjoyed this egg tart tour. I know there are so many places to get egg tarts in San Francisco Chinatown as well as the wider Bay Area. So definitely let me know if there are some spots I need to check out. Maybe I can create a part 2 of this egg tour, or maybe I can even do a different Chinese bakery pastry like the hot dog bun or a pineapple bun. I know those are some popular items as well. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. If you stayed this long, put in the comments, hi Eggy. I will see you all next time with an all new video. And once again, I appreciate all your viewership. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up just to confirm that this is the content you like to see. I'll see you all next week. Bye. What is worm style bread? Can someone tell me? I guess this is a worm. Oh, so they ran out?
Yeah, she said they ran out.
They ran out so early. Okay, next place. So these are, how do I open this?
You want to try this stuff?
They just look a little bit oblong. They're very like oval.
I was like, do these
No more egg tarts, okay. No more. But we got some pineapple buns as well as egg tarts.